Now this one has a cool story. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. It's time for that weekly mod collection demo shop update. This week is awesome. I love it. Sadly, I wasn't home for the launch, but we have 10 new guitars, and at least 3 of them were documentable. So let's start off with this cool custom called Golden Black Licorice. I see the Gibson guys are brushing up on their skills of striped designs up here. Iron Cross, maybe? I'll keep mentioning it until it happens. But no, we've got kind of an interesting half and half design on this thing. And oh my goodness, I didn't even notice this. Look at our pickup covers. They're like half gold and half black. I think that one's just like reflecting something else over here. How did they do that? That's really cool. But this half of the guitar just looks like it's a black beauty, and then you've got the stripes in varying thicknesses. It's interesting. But the pickup covers are the it factor for that one. And if you didn't notice, your Nashville bridge is black, whereas your tailpiece is gold. And holy cow, look what they did back here. I didn't look at these photos on launch day. So it's a matching back, but come up here to our headstock. It's a half stinger. We just have to envision there's also a black portion on this side. But then they also got the stripes. But I love our serial number. They took the time to stamp it twice, one with the black ink and then the other one with the yellow ink. Whoever did this, thank you. You are a master. This thing might not be to everybody's cosmetic standards, but it's unique, it captured a theme, and it did it well. And yeah, they could have went crazy and did it on the headstock, but they left it a little bit more traditional, but did play with our washers. They're black, so you only have the golden hex nuts, harkening back to the 2550 Les Paul. And at $5,200, not a bad price, especially 8.5 pounds. Next up, we've got Funky Amber, but oh, sweet Amber. You've got a single coil in the neck position and a humbucker in the bridge. They're calling it a Melody Maker single coil pickup and a 57 Classic. That would have been fun to review and document. It kind of looks like one of those Nighthawk middle position pickups, so I'm not sure how good it would sound. Although I'm unsure if a regular single coil would fit in there, because if you wanted to put Stratocaster neck pickup, those have the extra tabs on the side, so you are really limited to what single coil would fit in that route. But it's a unique layout. It's got an awesome top, cool color, blacked out hardware, knobs, and that theme continues on to the headstock. It's looking like it's a dark back, so not black, but if we adjust the contrast, you can see it's like a dark reddish hue. It was certainly interesting nonetheless. But check this weird thing out. They called it Ghostly Blue. It's an American flag, but black and white, but slightly blue, which kind of seems a little bit unpatriotic, but whatever. This design is interesting because you've got your binding layer over here, but then following the entire guitar is an additional black border that the graphic does not sit on top of. That kind of helps make it pop and make it look a little bit less tacky, in my opinion. And obviously the reflector knobs were a great choice over here, but then we get P94 pickups. So all right, a playful design that we haven't seen before. But then the back, it's blue. I don't know if those colors necessarily match or not, but now it lives up to the name. We even have matching blue backplates. That's certainly the shock factor. And here we get a taste of the side profile shot, blue with this grayish black. I don't know what's really going on with these color schemes. Maybe it's referencing something I don't understand. But this thing is fascinating. So a couple of days ago, we talked about Gibson's new offerings within their certified vintage collection. If you read the description on this one, it said it started life as a new old stock husk from 1981. And then they gave it a custom finish Marshall Sparkle. Now personally, I think it would have been cooler of them not to do such an exotic way out there finish on a jazz arch top. Personally, I would have went for like a really vintage inspired one, make it look older than it is. I mean, I feel most jazz arch top guys aren't really looking for this, but some might be if they're in a rockabilly band, so okay. But yeah, you got a pickguardless L5 from 1981 that wasn't finished until 2023. You can't buy a story better than that. Because before I read the description, I was like, you know, that's actually kind of like a 70s, 80s logo going on here. It had a volute that looked suspiciously good. Kind of a strange serial number. It looked like 111. But then let's just say I wasn't surprised when I read that sentence. So with the serial number, I think it actually has a normal 80s serial number. It's just the light reflected in the ones. But what's really strange here is it does not appear to have body binding. I just thought you had to have a bound edge on these arch top guitars. Otherwise, it just doesn't look Gibson quality. Maybe this was a prototype that they just never bothered finishing. But you've got all the fancy binding along the fretboard. And they did give it a sparkly matching back. So the vintage one was like $13,500. I thought thought that was a pretty fair price, all things considered. So I'm honestly kind of surprised this thing has sat around for a couple of days. Because a modern day L5, I'm sure they cost you about $13,000. Brand new from Gibson. I'm wondering if people aren't realizing this, or maybe it's the finish that's turning them off, but that is easily the most interesting one this week. But don't click off yet, they've got some awesome other guitars like Transgenta. It's a 60 standard for $3,000. I actually really like that finish. It reminds me of jeans that have been worn, but pink instead of blue or black, whatever you prefer. Still got your zebra pickups, but ooh, natural back and sides with moto back plates. This 335 was called Get It Orange Satin. Kind of similar vibes as the Transgenta, just a nice worn-in finish. I mean, it looks okay, it wouldn't be my first choice in color, but this one gets the matching back and it's got a little bit of figuring to it. If that wasn't good enough for you, how about Enviable Green? Got the 63 block inlay style. That was a complete refinish. Next up, this finish is called Evil Burst Satin. I call dark finishes evil looking all the time, and this time I would also agree. You've got the red switch tip, that's nice, P94 in the neck, tortoiseshell pickguard, kind of adding to your evil hues. Basically, it just looks like a satin, more extreme version of the Vermilion Burst from the Slash lineup. Nice dark fretboard, love that. But hey, we've got the red Gibson logo again. Not sure it works well with the golden Les Paul silkscreen, but the real it factor is this. I wish Gibson would go back to this. You get the burst on the back, even if it is a little bit short, and you get it on the neck, and you get it on the headstock. We haven't really seen that too prominently since the 70s. But I get it, it takes more time to paint guitars that way. But maybe we could have a 70s Les Paul standard within the lineup that does have it? Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Next up, we got Blue Cherry Metallic on a 60 standard. It's blue and metallic on the top, it's cherry on the back. Exactly as the title says. It's definitely your side profile shot that makes that guitar look cool. They had one of the 70s Explorers in Riverside red satin. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised this one sold so fast at $3,100, but hey, somebody loved it. It's got the P94 and Dirty Fingers in the bridge. It is a pretty striking example and was a complete refin. So that was the 10 from the mod collection. 10's kind of a strange number. Usually we've been getting 8, 12, or 16, but whatever, not complaining. But the demo shop this week had a huge sale again. Standard sale, 15% off at checkout, and then a general sale, which was 10%. So I caught the screen about an hour into the sale. You can kind of see what they had here, just a whole bunch of regular Les Paul standards, really marked down to about the 2,000-ish range, which isn't the best deals we've ever seen out of the demo shop, but a lot of these were the plus tops. And then the custom shops and other rarities only got the 10%, but there were a few really striking deals this week and interesting models. So let's start with this standard 60s and unburst. Holy cow, my friends. This is the first top that I've seen out of the original collection that I would classify as a quilt. Everything else has been flame, and we haven't really had quilt tops on USA production level guitars. That's Gibson USA, outside of the Gibson custom shop, since the late Henry J era. I'm not sure if this one... Whoa! Darn it! It's got a crown headstock. I'm so sad I missed this. I even had a gut feeling around 11 that I should check the demo shop, and I didn't. I would have bought that. That is cool. That is worthy of documentation. So, looks like somebody accidentally put the SG headstock veneer on it, and it's got the random quiltness. Maybe this was like an employee build and something didn't work out at the end, and that's how it ended up here. I don't even care if you didn't get a discount. That is well worth that price, especially with the factory goof up. But other than that, we just had some Adam Jones standards, $500 off. That's pretty good. Not sure if it was on sale. Also a 63 SG custom shop special. Also the Les Paul version, Gibson USA production. TV yellow, that color's been hard to find lately. There was a classic HP gold top. This is from the late Henry J era, so it's got the access carve on the back. Then there was a lefty white Les Paul custom on discount. But out of the plethora of standards that were listed this week, here's the tops I found most attractive. There was a 50 standard here, another 50 standard, and another. But the reason I'm showing you these is we were just talking in that P90 50 standard review, how different tobacco burst looks on every guitar. These should be the same photo situations, and you can see just how much it varies. These are all the exact same color. But I thought this top looked impressive for a USA. That almost looks custom shop quality. And this one had some interesting figuring as well. But Spaghetti Flame was definitely the name of the game for all these. The black plastics made this one look way different. But look at this goofy 61 SG standard. It definitely didn't get dyed as heavily as most of these do, so it's got a really faded look to it. So that's either a good or a bad thing. But is that an employee hair in the finish? Looks like some other contaminations over here as well. I suppose what this could also be is the mahogany was just such a light color, it didn't turn out the same. There was a pretty cool white Les Paul Custom in VOS. They didn't discount it, but $5,000 for this is actually almost $1,000 off. I think these list at $6,000, $1,000 premium over the black ones because the white finish is a bit trickier for Gibson to do. But then they dropped a 68 custom, so that's a step above a regular custom, and it's priced like a normal custom. So you get the ABR1 bridge, you get the long neck tenon, although that's the same in current production. So basically the ABR1 bridge and your fancy waffle back tuners and some of the other more vintage style specs and appointments like these knobs and headstock style. That's a fantastic deal. If I refresh this page and it's not gone, I'll be surprised. Holy cow, snap that up guys, that's a great deal. But if 68 specs aren't your style, for about $500 more, you can get 57 specs. So this is a huge departure from a regular custom because you're going to have a mahogany top, no longer maple. Not that you can really tell, but yes, it is a spec difference. 57 customs are a whole different animal. Same thing with 68s. They feel extremely different from a regular custom. Both are good, but if you can step up to the 68 or 57, I think you're going to be glad you did. And look at this, is one of the modern day production 70s Deluxe model in the new wine red finish. If I could have got this exact one, I would have reviewed and demoed it because wine red, it's not my favorite color on Gibson, so that's why I passed doing that review and demo, but still did the tobacco. But this one's got a legitimate flame top. It's pretty nice. And now moving over to the European side of things, they've been carrying the show the past 2 or 3 weeks, so I'll let them slide this week. They had like 5 new guitars. There's this Cherry Explorer, a 60 standard that they modified a little bit with pickups, which is kind of a big deal for the Netherlands shop. They had a black plastic standard 50s Cherry and a 335 dot. Yeah, not the most exciting, but they need some time to recharge, my friends. But that is all I have for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, consider subscribing. I post videos like this every day. And you might even enjoy this next one.